sisters are waiting. Join James Stokes and Silas Rowland tonight at 7, if you dare.
How'd you like that?
I love it. Ooh,
Cool.
it's spooky and kooky.
That's like us. We're
got,
spooky girls.
yeah, I love it. I love it. We've got 2 horror legends on our show tonight. I mean, this is going to be really awesome. Uh-oh, this is saying that the show started.
And it did. It did.
It
It is a little delay, as we know. Sorry, I'm trying to turn my phone off. I oopsied and left it on. But yeah, we got some great folks on tonight. Of course, everybody has known James Stokes has been on our show multiple times, and we love him every time. And he's a fan favorite. Yes. So
he is a fan favorite.
Yeah,
he's our own Jason. And when he puts the costume on and bows up, you know, like a big monster, it's so scary. It makes me.
It is.
Yeah.
It'll make you look a minute for sure. So
yeah. Well, let's bring James on.
All right.
Hey guys.
Hey James, how you doing?
Not much. How are y'all?
We're good.
We're doing good. Yeah. Thank you for joining us there. And there's Sammy.
Absolutely. There's Sammy.
Yeah. Hey girl.
Hi guys.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was good to see everybody.
Good to see you guys too.
For those of you that don't know who James and Sammy are, James is he's a Jason actor. He plays Jason Voorhees. There it is. You know, that movie gave me nightmares when I was in high school. Oh my gosh. And he's also in Stranger Things, and he's been on several other shows, and he's produced horror shows as well as you've been on it's like a Hallmark movie, and you were a police officer, is that right?
Well, I've been in several different I played a police officer, I played a preacher. I've done a little bit of everything. So I've done an action film. So yeah, I've gotten to work with Eric Roberts and Louis Mandylor from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and you know I've worked with some pretty big names in Hollywood, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been a wild journey, but I'm glad that I'm on that roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
Now, didn't you just do an episode on 911?
911 Nashville. Yep, and it should be coming out within the next few weeks. I thought it was this week, but I don't think it's going to be now. So, but it's the episode 17. So whenever that comes on, but yeah, I've got to go do some more.
Yeah,
I've got to go do some more stuff with them tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. So, but the episode will be coming out pretty soon.
Awesome. Well, I watch it every week, and I'm like, I know somebody on this. It's going to be awesome.
Yep, yep. You're gonna see me. Yeah, see
I know it'll be great. I know that's one of my favorite ones. Actually, I like that one.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Now, Lone Star was pretty good too, but
yeah,
it is. But the I guess the first one, it just got because I've watched. There were so many seasons. I just kind of needed something new, and Nashville's cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get on some of those ones with the Western style ones. I'm big in Westerns, and I love Westerns, and I grew up watching Westerns, and I kind of want to do something, you know, on the back of a horse, or at least with horses, or something like that. That's my favorite.
Ooh, maybe you
genre.
could do Marshals, which is a spinoff of Yellowstone. That would be.
You know,
awesome.
I've been talking to my agent. I've been talking to my agents about doing some stuff. It's just. That's a long process, so it really is. So a lot of auditions.
Yeah, we know you can do it.
I'm going to continue to try. It's literally you just got to continue to put yourself out there and show people that you can do it, and yeah, stay in as best shape as you possibly can, and that's the only thing you can do.
Well, you're doing awesome. So, Lee, tell us about our second guest for tonight.
Everybody, this is Luna, and she thinks it's the Luna Show.
Yeah.
Well, it is the Luna Show, of course.
It is always.
So Silas is a horror director, and he's known for crafting deeply atmospheric and psychological films that linger long after the show is over. And he's a distinct style that blends the slow burning tension with haunted visuals. So he carves out a unique voice in this modern history of horror. And he gets his inspiration from classic suspense, which is my favorite. I love classic suspense. And so it's one of the reasons why I love his work. So let's welcome Silas.
Hey,
Hello.
Silas.
Hey,
How are
Hey,
you?
Silas.
Can you hear me
Can hear
good?
you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome sauce. What's up? How you doing?
Doing
Good.
great. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I was just listening to James speak about staying in the best shape possible, and I was like, for the director, man, you kind of get in the worst shape possible. uh,
Oh, I can't
But-
imagine. That's a lot of work.
So many hours
being
in
a
front of that
director.
screen too. Also,
right,
yeah.
right. It's no, it's so funny to hear myself introduced as a horror film director, and I guess at this point I have to consider myself that. But when I first started doing this, it was all comedy. It was all like,
Really?
Really?
yeah. I mean, and that's something too. That, like, eventually, hopefully, I get pulled back into. But yeah, I mean, that's just, as an independent film producer as well. You kind of have to look at it as a market, and if you think on a global scale, not everybody laughs at the same jokes. Even right now, if I said a joke like, maybe nobody finds it funny. It's a lot of times humor is inside humor. And the thing about horror films, and which I love, and it's not just a thing of like, hey, let me exploit this and be a grifter. I love it, is that everybody has pretty much the same sense of fear. Everybody's scared to die. Everybody has a fear of what's in the dark. And so that's why I think, it's so sellable, and it's such a niche market to get into. And not to say, after the latest movie I'm doing, All That Is Evil, I have, it's funny, if you look at like the portfolio that's laid out in front of me and that's in my head, it's like All That Is Evil is pretty high up there in terms of like, this is a scary, sketchy movie. And then like the next few projects, it's like, okay, this is transitioning into a thriller. Okay, this is transitioning into a drama. And then it keeps going until like dark comedy, and then a full blown comedy. So, but that's cool. It's cool to hear like the horror film director. I mean, that's for the last few years, that's where it's been, and that's where I see it for the next foreseeable future. So, that's awesome.
And nothing wrong with the horror genre, buddy.
Not at all.
No, I love it.
Well, that's the thing too, is like there's still stuff in there to where it's not just, and I'm not knocking it, like, I mean, I have what is it? Terrifier, right? Is, kind of like the slapsticks of horror. It's gore, and so you have that, and there's a fandom for that, and I'll watch those movies, but with All That Is Evil, there's still a story in there that's very much character driven, that's relatable. Yes, there's a witch that eats babies and does very horrible things, but it's really a story about how do you as a person face off against that evil, and so I enjoy exploring those character driven narratives.
Sure. That's kind of like my latest movie that's on Prime right now called The Forest Through the Trees. It's more of a psychological thriller, but there's a story to it. I mean, it's deemed horror, but I wouldn't call it so much horror. There's not like a lot of jump scares or anything like that in it, but it's you find yourself being enthralled with the characters. The character that I played, the dad, you go on a mission with me to save to save my daughter, and it's like it's all psychological. You get your wife leaving you, and your daughter's mad at you, and you're mad at him, and you're mad at the world, and you're taking it out with alcohol and all that stuff. And it's just I like that whole aspect of it too. I like not just the slasher films, but it's having a story with it too as well. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Based on true event stories are really good.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's what I was going to say. I've got to have the buy-in or I'm out. See, I'm addicted to horror movies.
She has them a lot.
I'm not lying. And I love the old ones, the really old classic golden age, So I've been wanting to get you guys together to talk. So this is really cool.
Right on.
My little horror heart is just, my black heart is singing.
I almost called you
so
Jason.
fun.
I almost called James Jason, but I guess that would still,
Well,
still work.
that's
Right?
fine. I mean, I can put my mask
can
on
put
if
it,
you want.
So
now
you're
you guys know you're not far away from each other, right?
you're in Nashville? Is that where you're
Nashville.
at? Nashville?
I'm in
Okay.
Nashville. Mhm.
And I'm
Yep.
in South Carolina. Gwen's in South Carolina.
Carolina.
And guess what? Silas is in South Carolina.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there you go. Come up this way.
I'd love to come up
and
that
run
way.
around.
If Silas ever
Yeah.
needs me for something, I'd love to talk to him about doing it. I'm working on another horror film right now in Columbus, Ohio, and we're just a few months out of starting to film it, and and we're doing some ramp up now on it, and it's called The Massacre, and it's going to be pretty cool. It's something. It's well, I don't want to give it away too much. It's just I can't. But it's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm bald headed in it and all that stuff.
No.
I look
you
pretty.
had to
I look pretty cool. I
That's
look pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
Well, his
Yeah.
wife is able to do hair, so she's got that part.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
what
she's
Thankfully,
a
it's not
model.
actually like.
He
Yeah. I'm
has
not
good
shaving
hair,
anything.
so yeah.
Oh, you wear the cap thing?
The bald cap.
Oh, good.
right on.
Good. Oh, good.
Well, at least that's good, but I
Yeah.
don't know that I could wear that. I had a thing happen when I was in college. We were doing King Lear, and the wig the guy was wearing, it was holding this sword thing. It popped off of his head and landed in the middle of the floor. We were in the middle of performing in front of the university there, and I'm like, oh God, how is this going to go?
Well, let me
And
tell you, that thing is hot. It's very
I
hot.
know.
And,
Well, the dude came creeping across the stage, trying to get it, and King Lear reached over and threw it behind the set because he had to make a decision, right? And
Yep.
it landed on the light, and now the whole back is hair. So now we
That's
got
funny.
hair everywhere. And then
Everywhere.
it starts to smoke,
Oh, no.
and that's when that guy came, to get the hair. It totally blew everybody's
That's
mind.
hilarious.
Had to close the curtain and start over. It was horrible. At least start that scene over. I was like, oh my God. That was
Yeah,
horrible.
that makes it fun though, because it's real. That's why I like doing live podcasts. 'Cause
Yes,
it's
Yeah.
real.
At least you can cut and let's start that over again. We were,
Yeah,
it's
when you're
all
in-
out there.
in theater, you can't cut. Yeah. It's-
What? No cutting
No.
to that. It's over. Okay, anyway, I just ruined that whole spooky moment. I'm sorry. But
funny,
it just
though.
took me there. All right, I got a question for you guys. What makes horror concepts stand out to you? This is a saturated market. So what concept makes it stand out for you? Because I know you guys have got all the
I
strap.
mean, I'm gonna say storyline. I mean, it's got to have a story. It's got to have a storyline behind it, and it's like you said, within the first couple of minutes, you got to capture the audience. I mean, right there off the top.
Mhm.
And if you don't do that, you're gonna lose some. Some are gonna be diehards and gonna watch it anyway. But I think in a saturated market such as horror, you got to come up with something unique, something that's relatable. Relatability is a big thing in horror, I
Mhm.
think, and I think it's big, anyway when it comes to that. So, yeah, I think storyline would be my biggest one. I don't know about Silas there, but
Yeah, I mean, I think stories. I think that's the biggest. I mean, even across any genre, I think stories the most important thing. But I think even to that point, it's also about there's only so many stories you can tell. We've all heard that over and over again. I think just not falling victim to maybe you have to, but there's certain tropes that are in horror, and if you follow the same structure every time, then you're going to turn something on and you're like, oh, I've seen this movie a million times. On to the next one. Oh, I've seen this a million times. So even if you're still using those same techniques, that previous films use. I think if you can figure out a creative way of presenting them, whether that's changing the order that it's showcased in the film, or just completely throwing a monkey wrench in there and flipping expectations. It's what really got me back into horror too was Tubi. There's so many good indie
There is
on there.
so many good ones.
And it's like
making money.
That's what I'm saying. They pay me the most. I have 3 films on there and a couple on Amazon, and I get the biggest checks from Tubi, which not to just say that's why I love Tubi, but their catalog is so unique because it allows you to see films you've never seen before. I mean, my watch list is so long, but I'll go through there and there's certain times and I think this is what people need to open themselves up to as an audience, is that you may start watching something and you look at it and you go, well, damn, this movie looks like it was shot on a potato, but at the same time, right? But at the same time, if it can hook you, if it's doing something different, if it's got something exciting going on, I don't care. I don't care if it's shot in 360p and pixelated. I would rather watch something like that than that's got a high production budget that's just a regurgitated mess of something I've already seen.
Stuff, yeah.
So,
right.
Do you remember? Oh, by the way, just so you know, you were talking about having something on Amazon and having something on Tubi and Amazon. Well, tonight you're going to be on Roku and Fire Stick. It's live right now, streaming on all of our platforms, which is pretty massive. We're averaging, we're 480,000 views a month.
That we
right now. We're trying to get it bigger, but we're going on to Roku and Fire Stick. Ta-ta! It's going to make a whole lot of difference.
That's awesome.
I forgot to tell
nice,
them.
guys. That's very cool.
Yeah, we're really proud of that.
We're growing.
We're growing. Mm-hmm. So this was back in 2000s. I really loved the Blair Witch found footage type movies because I really bought into that. And I'm lucky to say that I filmed 24 Hours in Hell end of last year. Oh my God, I've never been so cold. I mean, I've been in Canada and filmed all that, but I just wasn't expecting the wind to blow through the house. It blew through the house. And spirits in the house uncovered you. So I was freezing, and my husband and I were trying to sleep on a twin blow-up mattress. We were hanging on to each other.
The good story is how she sits up and she yells some very interesting words that I probably shouldn't say on here.
Yeah, I was sleepy, and the spirit kept tinkering with all the electronics around us, and I sat up in the bed and told it to do something to itself, and that was on film. I just wanted to make it. Matt told me, I said, I didn't do that. So yeah, you did. But anyway, it's going to be like a found footage. So I was wondering, you see something like that, or at least the idea of it being more believable, making a comeback, or at least hinting towards that.
Yeah, there's a huge market for that. There's a production studio. I mean, TikTok's awesome too, because I've found so many other independent filmmakers that way. But there's one, I can't remember the name of it, but they were posting behind the scenes of their stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cool. It's another filmmaker. And I went to their production page, and it looks like all that they produce is found footage, and it's high quality, very tight. I mean, hour 15-minute, hour 20-minute movies. They're sort of generic, but they're done very well and they're fun. But I think that kind of falls back on a comment that James was making earlier too about the relatability that the found footage technique instantly makes something relatable, because it could, think about how many people anytime something happens, they break out their phones and start recording. Yep. I mean, it's even more prevalent today.
Absolutely.
Right. Yep. So, I mean, I think found footage is always going to be a subgenre that thrives, especially in this industry.
Mm-hmm. It is believable, that's for sure. By the way, 24 Hours in Hell was picked up by Shudder TV, which is now getting into paranormal. So it's the horror getting into the paranormal, and so that's good. That's pretty interesting, because usually it's the other way around. All right. So Gwen, you want to do this one?
Let me put my spectacles on so I can actually see. She knows this. She gives me crap about it. Let's see. How do you balance psychological horror versus virtual shock when developing a project? Oh, good question.
Because there's a difference between building up
Back up, so
and pow.
I read it
You
too
know?
fast.
Well, when you got special effects that are general effects, like what am I trying to say, Silas? Not CGI.
Right.
They're
The
yeah,
practical, yeah.
the practical. Thank you. The practical effects. That right there. I love practical effects myself.
Oh yeah.
I love them a lot better than I do the CGI. So now, don't get me wrong. Some AI and CGI stuff is very, very cool, and I think is warranted in a lot of movies or in a lot of different things to enhance the screen for the viewer. But at the same time, I like the practical stuff, where you actually go and it looks like, the blood squirts out and all that stuff, you make that happen.
Yeah.
That's what I love that part, it's just, when I did Slasher versus Jason, and, when I cut the girl's, throat and they blew the blood up into my face, all over my mask and all that stuff. The actual effects of that looked on screen amazing.
Right.
And so you can't get the same effect with CGI. I mean, it does look real and some of it looks really good, but I like the practical effects myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's not even for me there's not even that don't hold a candle to it. I don't to the CGI.
Yeah, practical effects are fun too. I mean, any way
It
you
is.
can do that. I mean, I had an idea. I mean, I was probably in high school. I was like, and this is when I was like looking at earlier filmmakers. And two, my background isn't like I didn't get into cinema because I was like a cinema buff or like a movie lover. I did love movies, but I actually got into film because I used to skateboard and we used to watch skateboard videos, and we got a camera and I started filming us skateboard and
Sure.
watching stuff like Jackass. I was like, let's do that. And then I used to also write. And so I was like, wait a second, I can kind of use this camera to make these ideas I'm writing visual so other people can see the crazy shit going on in my head,
Sure.
And but I had the practical thing, and that's the thing, the beautiful thing about filmmaking and just the film industry in general, whether you're on the behind the camera, in front of the camera, is like, how do you make this magic happen? And I mean, even I was writing a script and I was like, there's a scene where it's like the inside of a diner and a car crashes in, the empty diner, and a car crashes in. And I was like, and I was probably like 19. I'm like, how the hell am I going to get money for that? And I was like, you can build a miniature set and make it happen. And that's a practical way. You're not spending thousands of dollars on visual effects. You're not spending thousands of dollars on actually driving a car through a restaurant. And so, but it's also a practical way to fulfill that. So I agree with you.
Well, FX is an art. It's an art.
Yeah.
And if you start taking CGI and AI and all that stuff and putting it into all these films, into these horror films and every other film, then you're taking something that people is making a living with and throwing it out the window. And I don't want to see that happen. The practical effects come from these great artists like on the show Face Off and all of those. And there's so many great artists out there. You ain't got to get on a TV show. There's Thomas. You ain't got to get on a TV show to be a great FX person. And I know some really, really cool, really good FX people that can make you look really good by just their hands and their visions and all that stuff. I would hate to see AI and CGI and all that stuff come in and take the jobs away from these people. These people, that's their livelihood. Just like me as an actor, if you start using my face, and I'm guilty of this. I've been in a movie that I wasn't even on set. They just used my face as AI and put me in a movie. And it's like, I felt wrong. I felt wrong about doing it, but it's really cool. It's really cool. And, it looked cool, but at the same time, it's like, it's not me, that's not me.
Yeah, it drains it from the artist. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's going to drain it from the audience, because the audience is going to eventually see. And I think there's kind of an awakening for this, is that like everything is just becoming consumerism. And so if studios start making stuff just like put stuff out, and there's no heart behind it. I mean, think about this too. Like one of the things that my now or sort of thought process is like vinyl records have made the hugest comeback. Like, I mean, for like a decade, you go to Walmart, you go to any store, like people are buying record players and records and stuff. So there's always going to, hopefully, this is just me being optimistic. There's always going to be an audience for like,
dude, I'm in Music City and I agree with you. I do a lot with country music, and I am so glad that the vinyl is starting to come back. Mark Wills is a great friend of mine, and he has been in country music since the early 80s, and he just now come out with his first vinyl. Well, this last June, matter of fact, it's been right at a year now, but last June he came out with his first vinyl record of his hits, and that was incredible. You know, I love seeing that for him. And but yeah, that's cool. Victor, I love Victor. I haven't talked to Victor in a long time. So.
Cool. He was on with us Sunday night. Yeah.
Victor sent. Oh, I love Victor. I hadn't talked to him in a long time.
He was picking at me because Sean, the guy that backed me up and is Eternal Week ex Wolfpack, he made a video game like thing where I'm a wrestler and I'm walking down.
Oh, that's
cool.
So
yes.
Awesome. It is cute.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I did have this one, but I think we kind of touched it about, budget-friendly techniques. And honestly, I think that the script can also take place of techniques in your mind.
Well, sure. Location. So location too. I mean, if you get a good spooky location, it don't take a whole lot to catch the viewer's eye and draw them in. So yeah, no, I there's a lot of ways, I'm not Silas, I've been on the same end that you are. It's not as far as a director, but as a producer and all that stuff with some of the horror movies that I've done. And it's like, you have to find ways to cut costs sometimes. And
yeah,
but
absolutely.
But at the same time, keeping it to where it's real and keeping it to where it looks good and
Right.
still have that quality to it. You can't always sacrifice quantity over quality. And,
Right.
and a lot of people try to do that sometimes in independent film.
I agree. I think too. I mean, just and my advice would probably be more just across the board as a filmmaker is just like developing your network and just whoever you're working with, like being really upfront about what you got going on. If you're showing up to a random town, you're like, hey, I'm making this movie. It's going to be the next blockbuster. And like, just come work on this for no pay. Like that's shady shit. But at the same, sorry, my language, that's shady. But at the same time, like, if you have a network of people that are willing to put in with you because they hope to see you succeed and they think that, maybe by some of your successes, it can bring them up. Like, I think just all in all, just having an awesome community, like All That Is Evil. Our budget was, I say it's 150, but I think like 75,000 of that was actual dollars. And then the rest of that was just like bartering and trade and people being awesome, and believing in the project.
And it's just like Brenda was talking about the locations for Forest of the Trees. There were some locations were fantastic, but we got them absolutely free because of the community. The community loved, we're shooting it in local Arkansas, well, northwest Arkansas. And most of the actors that was in the film came from Northwest Arkansas, but just being around that community, they allowed us to come in. Now they said we only had a certain amount of time to do at these things, but at the same time, that's when I say you got to work around things to still make it look good. You're cutting cost, absolutely, but at the same time, you're still making it look very, very real. I mean, we had one of the badass set directors on Forest of the Trees. I mean, she's worked on Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, she's worked on some of the biggest movies in Hollywood, and she was our set director. How crazy is that? Because she is from Northwest Arkansas. That's just awesome, and so yeah, you got to take advantage of locations and where you're at and the people in your area. There's a lot more help there than but sometimes you got to ask for it, and some people
You got to
some people don't.
communicate.
Absolutely. And everybody says, oh, it's going to cost a lot of money. How do you know? Ask. You might get it for free. Somebody might say, dude, you can use my house or you can use my old barn. It's free. If I just shoot a movie there, I'll be happy to see it on screen. That's what I'm saying. It's just, you never know, especially with independent film. So you just got to reach out and talk to people. But that's where I come in as a producer to go around and make that happen. So
right, and that's where I lucked out on my film. Was like, I was like, okay, I need to shut down a street in like a rustic downtown area, and I went to the town hall, talked to them, and like they were like, okay, gotta have production insurance. I was like, okay, we already got that. They were like, you gotta have a business license. So I got that. It was like $35, and then they said, we'll shut down the street pretty much all day long for you. And they said the only thing we want in return is a picture from set so that we can hang it up in town hall. And that's why I'm still in the same town. Now I have a studio in this town, and I plan on making more movies here. And so just having that strong support system is going to go a long way. At the same time, is not the second you hit any level of success, running off. Like staying true to those people that help you out. Make sure you do that.
That's cool, man. That's cool that you did that. And that's cool that you got an area there that supports you and backs you with stuff like that. That's just kind of like we do, in Arkansas, here in Nashville. I've got different places here in Nashville that we could film and all that stuff. It's really cool, man. You just got to ask people. Sometimes you never know what you're going to get.
Yep. You do have to just open your mouth and ask.
Yeah. And you're always going to find that one person that's going to, a movie being shot here. Yeah, I'm fixing to make some money. No.
Yeah.
About to make $5.
Yeah, $5.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen that way.
That's funny.
Yeah, that ain't
it. So I have a question for both of you guys. I guess what is how can I put this? Not what is your favorite movie, but what is your favorite type of movie? And it does not have to be horror, but like that you would like to direct or act in.
Well, mine's superhero. I mean,
you would absolutely be cool in that.
I want to be in a superhero movie. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, you'd be badass Thor.
You would.
I would. Yeah,
you would.
And I'm kind of getting my chance. It's in fruition, but I'm getting to. I'm maybe getting to play in a superhero kind of a movie here before long. But it's just in talks right now. Have you ever heard of Deathstroke? I may be playing that character at Deathstroke. So
that's awesome.
That might be pretty cool. So, but yeah, that's as far as me goes. That's what I would love to do. That and the Western. I'm big.
I remember the Westerns, because
big in the Westerns. Yep, I love the horses. I've been a professional equestrian. I rode IPRA for 5.5 years. Bulls and bareback. I rode in the rodeos and did all that stuff. And so I love anything with a horse or Western or the cowboy look, because that's what I love to do.
And he wears his boots to Paracons.
Every
90% of the time he wears his boots.
Well, yeah.
I got my boots on now, so.
All right on.
Oh, you're a cowboy. I told you what I want to see you in. I want to see you in Marshalls or some Yellowstone spinoff or Yellowstone. I want to see it. I would
love it. Yeah. So, well, my episode of 911 Nashville will be coming out pretty soon. So
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, I got. My list of movies changes all the time. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Bear with me. But I went to my Letterboxd account, and so it makes you choose your favorite film. So I'm gonna list those off. You're about to see how all over the place I am.
That's cool.
All right. Number 1, Return of the Jedi is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Film. My wife actually rented out a theater so that I can act. It came out way before I was born. So my wife rented a theater for me just for me to watch that one Christmas, which was crazy.
Oh wow.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
What a sweet thing to do.
And okay, second on the list, Napoleon Dynamite. I just love
Wow.
that weird. I mean, it's got the slow burn vibes, and it's just got the weirdest one-liners you've ever heard.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely hilarious with that stoic humor. I mean, oh my God.
And then no Country for Old Men, again, slow burn. It's sort of got those
Slow
Western vibes to it, right?
Yeah.
That's great, Jeremy.
That's one of my top. That's like when I strive to make anything that's sort of serious in tonality. No Country for Old Men. I always watch that and think about that. And then last one on the list. So none of those are really horror films. The
That's
last
okay.
one is Ernest Scared Stupid. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have. Yes, I love. Dude, I've watched every movie that you just
Oh
put out there.
Lord.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, yes.
I love
Man.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
That's the best.
hilarious.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to get scared of the trolls. My brother would be like, "Dude, you're such a sourpuss," you know. And but I still love that movie to this day. When he's like, "Ooh, booger lips," like
Yeah.
I love Dumb and Dumber. I just
Oh,
love Dumb and
yeah.
Dumber.
Too.
Oh my God.
Anything with Jim Carrey, he's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Will Ferrell.
like
Ooh,
him.
Truman Show. That's one of my favorites too.
Truman Show's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
So Gwen says she'd like to see you in a Western, right?
I
would
wanna
love
see
to
him
see
in
you in a
something like
Star
Yellowstone.
Wars movie.
Yeah. Well, that would be cool too. Now I got
Oh, what?
Star Wars. I could a Star Wars movie. I could see you as a Jedi,
Yeah.
or like Darth Maul.
Darth
I
Maul.
don't know
Yes.
how limber you are, but yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
that'd
cool.
be fun.
It would.
That would be amazing.
Do a
Yeah.
flash.
I'll direct it. I'll direct the Star Wars movie.
You
Heck yeah.
direct it.
And when I
Yep.
finally lift my hood up, I'll have this on though. Instead of
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Darth
Yeah.
Jason.
There, yes.
Well, I remember Jason
Except I
went
don't
to
talk.
space,
you know,
right?
so- Huh?
Didn't he go to space? Jason went to space.
Jason did go to
So there-
space.
So there you
Oh,
go.
God. Jason X. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So,
Yep, I'm sticking with Star Wars. I'm not so much the Star Trek. I love Star Trek.
Oh, I love Star Trek. So,
William Shatner is what I
Yeah.
love. That's what
Yeah.
I really love.
Hey.
But I'm just saying. I mean, it's the truth. Look at
Yeah.
that sweet pea behind you. Hey, baby.
And then
yeah.
the puppy too.
Oh no, the puppy too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what a sweetheart. Oh, question.
Question.
Have you noticed that
Wait.
audience taste? What happened?
Hold on. We got it.
Oh,
Hold
excuse
on.
me. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Bruce
Yes.
Wayne.
Can you
I
read
can
it,
see that.
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I agree. Okay.
That'd be
Sorry,
pretty
Lee.
cool.
That was pretty. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm thinking Bane. He would be a great Bane.
True.
Yep. Who did they just recently cast as Megan Fox. They have her as Poison Ivy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Have-
That
Have
poor
you noticed
girl.
audience
All right.
taste?
Have you noticed audience taste shift? Sometimes they'll go towards the paranormal, the true crime, or creature-based horror.
Oh,
You got to watch how you say
What do you
that.
think?
Taste shift.
you
You got to watch how you say that. I mean, I gotta. I kinda don't understand the
I almost
question.
said taste shit. I swear to
I know,
God,
exactly.
I almost
That's what I'm
did.
saying.
Don't say
I-
that.
I kind of don't understand the question.
Go back. Hold on. Pop it
I'm-
back up.
Okay.
Lee.
Yeah,
Let
well,
me try
I
it
don't know if
again.
it's shifting toward it. I think there's always been an audience for it. I mean, you look at, it's kind of hard to gauge like something like Stranger Things because it's like, is that a creature film or a creature series, whatever? Or
Yeah.
is it like a nostalgic thing? Are they
Yeah.
attracted to the
They wanted
nostalgia?
it to be nostalgic for sure,
Right.
But then you got the creature part of it,
Yeah.
and
Big time.
I don't know.
And then there's a paranormal thing, which I thought was genius. It was like the first season, and a little guy was missing, and Winona Ryder had the lights on the wall,
Mhm.
and he would light the lights up to the different alphabet to communicate with her.
Sure.
Dang, if that actually worked in a ghost hunt, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
If you could figure
If it
out a
was
way to
only
make
that
that
easy.
happen.
Yeah.
If only it was that easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about a tripwire and hanging it up, or
But you
putting
don't
it on
have
the
to hang a
floor.
tripwire. Yeah, just put it on the floor like everybody does. Yeah.
I was thinking about those dog buttons too.
Yeah, those are a little harder
It's
to
a
hit.
different thing.
Oh, with like the
They
words
are
or
hard.
whatever.
Mm-hmm. They're harder to
Yeah.
make go. You have to get it fairly. You know what I'm saying?
There's Raven.
Remember when we were in the boiler room of the dry cleaners and the spirit was turning that flashlight off and on and off and on really
But
hard?
that's rare. That's
Yeah.
rare. They'll twisty it. That's one of my favorite tools, guys, is the flashlight. So and it
Yeah.
works really well. I have the same one that I had on every call that I ever ran as a medic. And it's got all that energy and all that on it, and it's awesome.
It's her magic wand for
It's
real.
my magic wand. It is. And even in my little caricature thing I made, it has a little flashlight. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You and your flashlight. All right, Gwen.
Yep, glasses again. How important is real world lore or documented cases when developing horror content today?
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to what film you're doing. I mean, if it's
Mhm.
I mean that's really if it's based off of true events, then I think you need to get it as close to that as you possibly can. You know, you're never going to be able to get it perfect. You know, it's just there's no way. I mean, and that's the reason it's based off of true events. You know, it's just there's certain things about it that's based off of the things that actually really happened. But yeah, I mean, I think that just really depends on what kind of film you're making there. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does depend on it. I mean, for me personally, like when I make something, I like to try to do the most quirky, wonky thing possible. So real world, the only thing that really matters to me, real world, is like how grounded are the characters? Because your characters are like the plot can be something super crazy, you know, like that you've never heard of before, like the flying spaghetti monster coming from space. Like, okay, there's our crazy shit. Now we're gonna put a bunch of regular people or people with character traits in that, and so I would say real world stuff. You know, your characters are going to be based on that because that's what makes it again relative.
Yeah, and I mean, just like a zombie movie. I mean, in real life, there's no zombies, but when you throw actual good characters, just like The Walking Dead, amazing freaking show. They did such a good job with that because you know when people say, "Oh, I don't want to watch a zombie," it's not about the zombies. It's about the characters that you're following, like Rick and Michonne and all of those. You start to learn or to love the character, and that's what the whole thing's all about. It's not about what, like you said, the spaghetti whatever monster coming down from space. I mean, no, is it not? No, it's not real. But at the same time, that could be a damn good movie if you got good actors in there that people can relate to and follow the story, you know, and then stupid shit happens to them. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean,
Right. I mean, if you took all the humans out of The Walking Dead that were like normal people, then it would just be like 8 seasons of people like zombies eating brains, and it's like, okay, that's
exactly. And I love the characters of Walking Dead too. Every one of them, each one of them had their own niche and own thing, and you got drawn into that from season 1 to season 5085, whatever it was. But it's really cool, you know, and that's the reason that show did so well. You know, it had a cult following for the longest time, still does, I think. Norman Reedus and all of them, they still do very well with that show.
It's still huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a spinoff, I think, coming, right?
Oh, there's several spinoffs already.
There's like 20 of them.
There's several.
Oh,
I
Lord.
mean, it's kind of like Yellowstone. There's several spinoffs off Yellowstone that's coming out. You know, Rip and her, you know, his wife has a spinoff, and then you know, so there's different spinoffs. You know, Marshall's is another spinoff of it, and
it's good.
So, yeah, it is. It's amazing. Yeah,
it is.
I know Luke is a great actor. I love him, and he's awesome. I saw him down here in Nashville. Great singer as well. You know, so
I did not realize that. I'm going to have to check that out. So.
Oh yeah, no, he was here.
He's a country singer.
He's a country singer. He was down here during June Fest in Nashville, CMA Fest, and did a great job. I was at his concert, and because he sang right before Mark Wills did, and because I always hang out with Mark, you know, when he comes to town and stuff, and it's cool.
That's cool.
Great singer. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna check it out. You guys, I hate to say this, and I know Lee's probably not watching the clock like I am, but we do have another show at 8:00. We just wanted to do this special to get you guys on. And
Thank
Sammy,
you. Yeah.
y'all are all awesome, and of course, always come back to us. As you know, we
Absolutely. Anytime you want us on or want me on, absolutely. And Silas, let's connect, buddy. And
yeah, I'm gonna add you on Facebook.
James sings too.
I'll be in down. I'll be down your way.
Brenda.
I think in October.
Oh, okay. You're being in Nashville?
Yeah, my one of my friends from high school is getting married. So, and he's a.
No.
I need to see if I need to connect you with him. He's a pretty big music producer out there now. Doing some
I'd
good
love
stuff.
to. I'm managing a country music artist, so I mean, never know
Yes,
what could
he is.
happen. Yeah, and he's doing very well right now.
I follow him now because of
Yes,
you. So,
we're doing very well right now, and so we got some big things coming up with him too. So, but anyway, thank you for having us on, and Silas, I'll send you I'll try to get you or Gwen, could you give Silas my cell number?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
So
Gwen, I've got one more question.
Yep, do it, girl.
All right. So if we brought you a story rooted in real paranormal investigations and generational experiences, okay, what would you need to see to take it seriously?
I mean,
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I wouldn't. I mean, as far as paranormal goes, I know it's real, and I know there's things. So I wouldn't need to see anything to believe you that it's real. We would. Now, Silas could answer this more on a directorial aspect than an actor. I love anything to do with paranormal. So
Yeah, you're good at it too.
But
Sammy's
as
good
far,
at it.
but as directional, Silas would probably need a storyline, you know, and get in his head, you know, what he wants to envision. So I mean, yeah, I don't know, Silas, what do you think about that? I mean,
yeah, I mean, I think the most thing, and this is, and maybe I'm not answering your question, but I do a lot of. First off, I do a lot on the side. It's funny, it's my side gig. It's still making movies and stuff. I do a lot of documentary work. And so sometimes it's like crazy alien stuff. But when they ask me to do like the paranormal stuff, I love it because I've had a few like encounters myself. I struggled with sleep paralysis for years and just had a lot of things happen growing up. But for me, it would just be if I was going to make a movie, I think just off the countless interviews I've done for the documentaries in the past is just like having an understanding of the people that are presenting those stories. Because a lot of times, man, people have seen some crazy stuff. They come in and they're like, I saw this crazy thing happen and this thing moved. And it's like, that's all they say. And I'm like, that doesn't paint a story for me. Like, I'd like to know, you know, start talking about yourself and kind of lead into that so that you build some sense of credibility for yourself. Because again, like Jason said, for me, I already believe in it. I've encountered it, but you got to think your audience, a lot of your audience is going to be people that have, so they're curious, they're watching it. But then there's a lot of the people too that watch it are going to be skeptics or on the fence about it. And so the most credibility that you can paint for them, the better it is. Because, and then I guess too, it's like, what is your end goal objective with your, whether it's a documentary or a narrative film? Do you want to scare people? Do you want to bring awareness to something that's happening and it's happening to other people? So I don't know. There's just so many angles that you can look at it. Yeah.
Set it up and end. Oh yeah. I just thought it was pretty cool to think about. You know, what would you need to see out of something like that?
That's a cool question. I mean, it's a cool question. I mean, for sure.
Yeah. And here's the thing, no matter what you show, there's still going to be people that are skeptics, because I did the one that just came out on Amazon, Paranormal Expedition, which I wasn't even supposed to be in, but I ended up in it. I was just producing, but anyways, that's a long story. And I got touched in the attic. Like, I felt something grab me, and I knew it. And it was funny, right before it happened, I knew where it was in the attic. It was over my left shoulder. I could sense it. And then it grabbed me, and I screamed like a little girl, man. I was lit up. And it was funny. One of our camera person, he almost fell down the stairs because he's like, I've never heard somebody scream like that, dude. And so I got into post production, and I'm watching the footage, the infrared footage, and you can see an orb fly from the corner that I saw something in, go past me, and as soon as it passes over me, that's when I reacted. Obviously I didn't see that in my naked eye when I was there, so it was in sync with what happened in the footage.
What happened?
And I sent that to a couple people. They're like, yeah, I don't see shit. And it's like, so even with that, like, it's so much, like, it's double evidence for me that the second I was touched, there's a visual anomaly. But even for certain people, it's still not enough for them. You know,
Well, let me tell you, when you're really scared, you sound different, just like what you just said. Yeah, and I'm telling you, it'll bring out the little girl in you. I'll tell you that right now. Because when you're really scared, you don't. Yeah, all manhood goes out the window.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just what it is. So
I can never picture James screaming like a little girl. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
And I have not. But I'm just saying, I've been into some places to where, you know, even playing the character of Jason, you know, I get into that character so much, and any character that I play, that's what I do. I literally I try to take it to the extreme. I mean, I do. I want to bring to life the character that I'm playing in every film that I do.
It takes commitment.
It does. It takes a lot of, and it's just like when I got the Jason role, I went back and watched every Friday the 13th that was out there. I watched. I called Kane Hodder. I did everything. How do you play this character? And because I wanted to make sure that the character that I brought forth, I did justice to it, because it's such an iconic character. And thank God that I did as well as I did. People love it. People accept me at all these conventions and all these places I go. My picture is hanging up in so many different places, and I love it. And it's just, it's absolutely phenomenal. And then having guys like you bringing me on to do things like this with other directors and stuff, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I appreciate it more than you'll ever know.
Cool. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, we got to pop out of here because we're going to have to start the next
split.
Yeah.
But hey,
thank
you guys
for coming on.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to put you down for just a second. Hang on for us, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, that was
Luna snoring. You hear my dog snoring? I mean, she's really snoring. I'm so embarrassed.
It's okay. You can't really hear it in her. Well, that's Haunted Sister Diaries for tonight. As you know, we do specials. We don't have a certain day or a certain time. So anytime you see it, we always have some awesome folks. And I want to thank James and Sammy, and of course Silas also. And we'll have them on again. It may not be this show, but we will have them on the network again. I promise.
You know, they both are going to be getting into all kinds of things. All three of them. It'd be kind of nice to have them back and see where they are. What's a snapshot of their lives now? So be on the lookout. You never know what the sisters will get into.
Exactly. You never know. You never know where we're going to pop up either. So just watch out for that.
Right.
All right. You guys have a great night.
Thank you.